Hello and welcome to Restless Gecko Reviews. Today I wanted to talk about the Logitech drama. So even though everything's been a little bit stale in terms of mouse releases, there's been plenty of drama to keep us going, what with the Wooting and Razer keyboard, and now the Logitech subscription idea. So a lot of people have reported on the subscription idea, but no one's actually followed on from that to talk about the follow-up. So originally Logitech floated the idea of a forever mouse. So this is like a more expensive version of a Logitech mouse, so probably more expensive than even these bad boys when new, that would then come with a subscription service for updates and new features. It's now been confirmed that they're not going to pursue the idea, but it's just interesting that they tried to float this in the public domain. So from my perspective, either the CEO thought she was giving the interviewer something interesting and original, she was either talking out of turn and didn't really know what she was talking about, because apparently she talked to someone from one of their development offices who came up with this really good idea and she thought it was great and wanted to talk about it. Or generally it was a plan to gauge the public reaction, although anyone with half a brain at Logitech could have predicted the outcome with pretty much 100% certainty. So before I keep going, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, it really helps me. Give the video a like if you like it, or dislike it if you don't like it, and leave your comments in the comment section below. I always love hearing from you. So yeah, anyway, we'll crack on. So why I don't think it makes sense. So the beauty of this hobby is that there are so many different nuances to the way people like to play, the search for the improvement in their own game, through the peripherals themselves. So how you grip the mouse, what you like about it, the shapes, the buttons, the clicks, the grip tape you can get, the skates you can get, absolutely everything. And then you got your pairings with your mouse pad. Like, it's so varied. There are so many different ways that you can take part in the hobby, all different budgets as well. Like, it doesn't make sense to be locked into a single mouse for the long term with some financial commitment to get updates for it. It's just beyond belief that they would even float such an idea. It's a bit stupid, really. But yeah, people change their mice yearly, monthly, even hourly if you're like me and you like to change from match to match. So Logitech would be cutting themselves off at the knee. Like, it wouldn't make sense for gaming mice to have a subscription either, because like, what are you subscribing to here? There's no actions that it needs to perform outside of what it already does. I mean, they give you the sensitivity finder for the DPI, so it matches the DPI between two different mice when you move them along together. Like, I don't even use that. I don't really need it. Approximate's good enough for me. But yeah, unless you've got a mobile mouse or like loads of buttons on it that you need it to do different things, or there's some Hall effect version of the mouse, which I believe SteelSeries did with some of their mice. Didn't really go very far with that either. But still, I don't see why you would need an update for your sensor or anything like that. I mean, to bill people for an update for the sensor and clicks would be commercial suicide for them, because when you purchase a product, you expect it to be decent out the box, and if it isn't decent out the box, you expect them to update it very, very sharpish. So again, it still wouldn't make sense. Unless they were looking at it like an Apple Care system, where it's some sort of like extended warranty, where they prioritize your support and they give you replacements if anything goes wrong, like if the shell creaks, they just send you out one next day, anything like that. But again, that would be a commercial disaster for them. Like, most gaming mice are going to degrade over time, whether it's a year, even a year, 15 months, 18 months, whatever it is. Eventually they will degrade. The click quality will start to go soft, and things will start to creak, things will start to fall apart, and the shell itself, like, the claims would be insane, especially for like first batch mice. They'd be swapping them out in and out like nobody's business, even for like the slightest thing, because I imagine they'd have to open up that bracket in which you can claim. So the person that decided to push the line of thought into the public sphere is called Hanneke Faber, the CEO of Logitech. And I had a quick look through her LinkedIn, as that's what it's good for. She's worked at Procter & Gamble and Unilever, both of which produce beauty products, other consumables like food, cleaning products, stuff like that. The industries that she has experience with are adopting subscription models. So like, you get your meals delivered to your door or whatever like that. Even on Amazon, if you run out of something, it can automatically reorder every month for you, so that you're always topped up. It seems to be the way that a lot of industries are going. And the reason they do it is because it keeps them locked into the brand, especially when the customers are flighty, they're looking for different options and things like that. It just keeps them out of that search for alternatives and cheaper substitutes. And also, I've worked in some quite heavily bureaucratic corporate environments, and I have experience with these types of people. CEOs and managing directors have their finger so far from the pulse that they can give themselves a colonoscopy with very little effort. The people at the top of the corporate ladder, especially those with like a marketing background, like this Hanneke, they tend to be very good at thinking in abstractions. So they can think about very much outside the box, and they can create these different scenarios and different products and things like that. But they don't tend to have much experience in reality or on the shop floor, essentially. They have very little understanding of how those things are applied in real life, whether they're going to be successful or whether they'll dissolve on contact with sunlight, like this subscription service would have done if they'd have pursued it. But I hope that someone internally, after she's gone on this podcast, is like an accountant or someone like that, has just walked up to her and said, look, you're trying to kill the business here if you do this. I mean, yeah, whoever it was very brave, or maybe they were just fielding it out there just to see what the response was. But it hasn't been positive. But I did think that this might end up being reality for a couple of reasons. So if you look at the products they've been bringing out recently, so you got the Superlight 1.5, it's a slight refresh, some new switches, an updated sensor, but other than that, there's nothing new about it. Like, whether you have the old one or the new one, you A/B test them, like, you can feel the difference, but it's nothing major. Like, it's in my personal opinion, if you've already got the GPX one, there's no point in upgrading to the 2, really, unless you really love it and you want those mechanical switches. But then they brought out this boring low profile TKL that has no Hall effect or anything like that, so they're not keeping up with the trends at all. But the lull in the new products and technology might be a sign that they've shifted focus somewhat. Maybe they're moving in a new direction, or they're pulling something. Maybe they already pulled attention to something like a subscription model, and this was just feeling it out for public sentiment. But they're really not taking any more risks like they did with the G303 Shroud Edition. I mean, that's a mouse that's so specific that only like a tiny percentage of players will actually use it, because in no way have they been catering to the enthusiast space with their offerings. Like, there's no lighter or even updated G703. There's been no update to the G305. It does feel like they've given up in a lot of ways, or they're more willing to just cater to the productivity and business crowd at this point. Maybe that's where they're seeing most of the revenue from, and we're just like a small blip on the radar that makes a lot of demands. I mean, it's entirely possible that they're working on something huge that's going to like change PC gaming, maybe, or maybe they're just happy to coast on the Superlight sales and push out that legacy messaging about their Pro series, the awful headsets and subpar keyboards. Like, I can say for certain that if they were to go the subscription route, the success they had with the Superlight will never ever come back. They'll never see it again. And I think a lot of people will be smart enough to just drop Logitech as a brand and stock up on their old models. I mean, look at it this way. Razer has now invaded the ambi-sports scene with their Viper V3 Pro. There's no reply from Logitech at all. There's nothing new, nothing leaked, no sign of anything interesting coming out. They've just sort of sat still. So they're either really confident the Superlight can hold its own, or they're just not interested in this market anymore, it's sad times for fans of Logitech, but it's not like we don't have thousands of great alternatives now. I mean, even for their own models, we're seeing better tech clones of their mice coming out. And I think Logitech just have really got complacent, and now everyone else is reaping the rewards, which is a shame, because I would hope that they would be at the forefront pushing for new technology, new ways of doing things, new shapes, but no, nothing. It's the same old stuff, and awful new stuff as well when they do bring out something that's new. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you want a subscription that is completely free and will enhance your performance, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Leave a like if you want to like, and leave your feedback in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.